be done there. But what I'm talking about is you saw those pictures coming out of the lower Ninth Ward, and you can't be critical of New Orleans because this is true in everywhere in America, and we all know it. There's this huge, not just racial, but economic segregation in America. It's not good for addressing poverty. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for our democracy, not healthy for our country. And we can do what we've been doing, which is to put our head against the wall and pretend it's not there, or we can actually try to create some ideas to deal with it. Here's one idea. I don't claim it's the best idea, but it's what I've come up with so far. How about if instead of pouring money and using our housing vouchers to poor people and to concentrated areas of poverty, clustering poor people together, largely in the inner city. What about if instead of doing that, we use these housing vouchers, create 1 million more in addition to it? This is a fairly bold idea. And we use them to create some migration across the economic barriers that exist today. So that, for example, if you're in a lower income working family and you don't like the neighborhood you live in, you know, you don't like the schools, the crime rate's too high, whatever, you ought to have some choice. You ought to have the capacity to be able to go to a different neighborhood. And unfortunately, the world we live in today, that choice is largely controlled by financial considerations. And people with a lot of money have a lot of choices, and as you come down the scale, people with little money have very little choice. So we want to create some disbursement and migration across some of these economic barriers that exist today. And then access to college, which is a really, really big thing. And what's been happening is billions of dollars has been taken out of the federal budget for kids to get financial aid to go to college. This is insanity. I mean, it is complete insanity. If you think about I just came back from China a few days ago, and I look at what they're doing in China. China will, by the way, will soon be the largest English-speaking nation in the world. Really, because they require their kids to learn to speak English. Every single kid in school in China is required to learn to speak English. And they are graduating 10 engineers for every engineer that we graduate. About half of their kids major in math, science, or technology. I mean, they are doing exactly what they need to do to be able to compete. The last thing that America should be doing is disinvesting in making sure our kids get a good education, get to go to college, get to go to graduate school, particularly in areas like math, science, technology, etc. Those are the places we should be investing, not taking money away. And one of the things that we could do, and we've actually, to see if this would work, we put it in place as a model program in a very poor, very small county in North Carolina. It's called Greene County. The concept is called College for Everyone. Very simple. You graduate from high school, qualified to go to college, and you commit to work while you're there. We don't give it to you. You got to commit to work at least a minimum 10 hours a week. You can be on campus or off the first year you're there. Then we pay for your tuition and books. So the simple idea is you're qualified to go to college and you're willing to work while you're there, your tuition and books will be covered. Now you have to go to a state university because the cost gets way high if you start sending kids to private schools. And it's just a cost, that's purely a cost thing. But the first year we had it in place, and there's no government money in this. This is all, what we're doing is private. I raised the money myself. But what happened the first year we had it in place is almost 70% of the kids in the county signed up for it. I mean, it had a huge, this county had very low college enrollment of high school seniors. It's changed significantly as a result of this. These kids wanted a chance to go to college. They just didn't have it. And what we want to do is we want to make sure we're creating incentives for kids to be able to go to college.